Good morning, everyone. Did you ever think about making a lot of money to succeed in business? Please watch this 8-minute video and I will present to you the business model I created. Maybe you're living in the United States, maybe you live in Great Britain, Australia, maybe you're living in Poland actually thinking about leaving. Please take the moment to listen to my story. 7 years ago, when I was still living in the United States and I was thinking about going back to Poland, the best thing you can do, you can actually ask your friends. So I went to ask my friends. You know what they told me? Stay in America. You will never have a chance to succeed like you have it here. Stay here. So I did exactly the opposite. I bought a ticket, bought Polish Airlines, and I decided to go back to Poland. And being on the plane, I had this inner voice saying to me, "What are you doing, Simon? You won't even get a job there. What the hell are you doing?" But on the other hand, I had this second voice, the good voice as I call it, that said, "Don't worry, Simon, it's all going to be good. You'll find a great job there and you're going to be successful. You just have to believe in your dreams." And that's what I did. I got back to Poland, started a company, and I've been really successful since then. What dreams did you have when you were young? Did you have any dreams? Throughout my childhood, I had one big dream. I wanted to go to the United States, get well educated, and come back. After I went to the States, I met a lot of very dedicated people that helped me to achieve my goal. Then I went back to Poland and started a company with my friend Andrew. The beginnings weren't easy. 1 year after we started, there was this big crisis of 2008 and we lost a lot of money. But I understood one thing. You become a true businessman after you lose a big chunk of money. And that's what we did. When people are starting to make business, they have this unreal perspective of making business. They think that you can make only the steps forward, not backwards. But in fact, it's the reverse. Sometimes you make more steps backwards than forward. So you have to remember that to be good at making business, you have to do more steps forward than backwards. Because when you're starting to make business, it could be that you do 1, 2, 3 steps forward and 1, 2, 3 steps backwards. You're not moving. Later, when you're getting better, you could do 1, 2, and 1 back only. But listen, I didn't say 3 steps forward and 3 steps forward and 3 steps forward. That's not how the business is working. However, when you're getting really good at making business, it could be that you're not doing the step backwards. You could be doing like this. 1, 2, 3, little lean back, and 1, 2, 3. That's what happens when you're becoming really good at business. You only lean back and fight the failure. You don't have to actually go backwards. In the last few years, I developed a unique business model that's called FCG. In FCG, F stands for fair. You have to be fair in business, you have to be honest. Because to make good business, people have to trust you. That's F for fair. C for creative. All the greatest business starts with a great idea to meet people's need. That's C, creative. And G, generous. To make money not only for yourself, but also for others. To give up for charity. To be just a good person, loving people. That's G. But that's not the only way you can make it. There's also, as I call it, bad FCG, where F stands for false. C stands for clever, like bad clever, and G for greedy. A lot of people at the beginning, when they start business, they start with the bad FCG, as I call it. Maybe that's the best way of getting the first $1 million, by cheating. And then, after they get their first million, they jump to the other one, the good FCG. But in the long run, the only way to be really successful is through good FCG. Because fairness creates growth. Well, so I already told you 2 ways of making money. Now I'm going to tell you one thing that those 2 have in common. It's being hardworking. Doesn't matter if you want to go with good FCG or bad FCG, you have to be hardworking to make it. To prove my statement, I asked two very wealthy people for advice. I asked Mr. Right and I asked Mr. Cheater. I went to Mr. Right and I said, Mr. Right, what do I have to do to make millions? He said, well, Simon, there's a lot of things that you have to do to make millions. You have to be smart, you have to predict the future, but first of all, you gotta be hardworking. All right, thank you, Mr. Right. That's a good point. Excuse me, Mr. Cheater, what do I have to do to make millions?
Well, Simon, there's a lot of things you have to do to make millions. You have to know how to cheat, how to lie, how to manipulate people. Look at this world. Everybody's cheating. If you won't be cheating, you won't gonna make it. But there is one thing. Even if you have to be a good thief, you have to be hardworking.
Well, thank you, Mr. Cheater. That's quite interesting. Well, as you see, two different ways of making it, two different perspectives, but only one good answer. Now I would like to ask you a question. A word inspired. Do you know what it means? A word inspired, it means that you have something in your spirit, deep inside. Whereas motivation, it's a push. Inspiration is a pull. Motivation is like if it's 6 in the morning and your partner is waking you up, get to work, wake up. You gotta go to work, make money. That's motivation, that's the push. But inspiration is something that comes exactly from your heart. It's your spirit, it's something that's in your spirit. But I know what you're thinking. You might think, okay, Simon, it's really interesting what you've been saying, but I knew all of that. I was always fair, creative, I was hardworking, but I still didn't make any money. Well, so now I'm about to tell you the secret. Have you ever heard of a term called comfort zone? Comfort zone is a way of mental conditioning that stops you from achieving your goals. Do you remember when I was coming back from the States and this inner voice that told me that I wasn't going to make it? That was the comfort zone devil. If you look at the circle, this is your comfort zone, but all the business opportunities are outside of this circle. If you don't push this border, you're never going to make a lot of money. So really, if you have a great idea, go ahead and do it. Take risk right now. Ending my short speech, I really hope that the Festival of Inspiration that we're going to hold in Warsaw will be that place to get inspired. Remember that fairness creates growth. Start doing business and do it with the passion and you will be the best. Because passion in the business is priceless. Serdecznie zapraszam Państwa na Festiwal Inspiracji w Warszawie. Do zobaczenia.